I had to take notes. Like, I wrote notes down so I would remember. So if you see me looking down, that's why. What is up, my Lumpias? It's Vanessa and welcome back to the channel. We are living in a world where fast fashion is unfortunately the norm right now, because fashion has changed over the years. That instead of every season there would be a new line, it's like every week there's something new in the store. It's like insane. But to prevent and try and get rid of all this landfill that's happening, because when you do donate clothes, like, I don't know if you've watched some documentaries about it, but if you donate your clothing, it goes into a landfill most of the time, which is not good for the environment. We need to protect our earth here. So in terms of your own clothes, everyone accumulates a lot of clothes over the years. It's a thing unless you live a minimalistic lifestyle. Unfortunately, I do not do that. I would like to, but I don't. But what I want to go into is about to do with the clothes that you want to get rid of. So a big thing that has started to trend over the past couple of years is thrifting. With technology, now what has been emerging is apps where you can sell your clothing. If you're like me, you're like, which one do I sell off of? Which one's the best? Well, I am here to tell you which one I personally think is the best, the pros and cons of each, and hopefully it guides you in the right direction for you to start making that dough on your own clothes. So we're gonna start way back when, before there was no electronics. Going to a consignment shop like Plato's Closet, bringing your clothes there, getting it sold. The pros of that is, number one, you get rid of things quick, because you literally bring your bags to the store, they pick what you buy, and you get rid of it, done. The cons. I have brought things to Plato's Closet before. They have a lot of inventory. It's crazy. So they're very picky on what they want to buy. And in trend, they only also buy stuff that's in season at the time. They do list it on their website what they're looking for, but for that reason, they don't necessarily take everything you bring, which leads to, what do I do with this now? And then there's conveniently a donation bin outside of these stores, so you can just toss the rest out. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, that they can't take everything, but at the same time, they're a business and they need to choose what they want for their inventory. The other con is that if anyone is sold to a vintage store, you get low return for your money on there. You would think you would get more for your buck. It's either store credit for a higher value or low value, but you get your money. So it's like, what am I gonna do here? In turn, because people don't get that much money back from the clothes you bring, I think this is where technology has come into play, and there have been apps created for you to sell your clothes on. And the three big ones I'm going to talk about today are Carousel, Depop, and Poshmark. The first selling app I ever used, which was Carousel. I actually really like Carousel, and it was doing really good for me, because when I got it, how old was I? I think I was 22. I got this app because I think I just graduated from university at the time. I'm like, I need to make some money off my clothes. Like, I have some really cute stuff. And what I liked about Carousel is, number one, you get 100% of the profit. The app does not take a fee for what you sell, which is like amazing. So say if you sell, I don't know, a top for 10 bucks, you get that full $10 back. So the second thing that I liked about it is that you don't have to spend any money on shipping. It's not a shipping app. Some users do ship on it, but they mention it in their profile. But for the most part, it was more of a meetup type app. Where, number three, every week they would put the featured users at the top, and I actually got featured a couple times, and I'm not a huge popular user. Like, it's not like I have like a million people following my page. It's just because I think they based it off of how much activity you do on the app and feature you, which is like amazing. So I love that about it. Now the cons about Carousel. Number one, meetups take time out of your day. If you're at work and someone's like, oh, I can meet you at this time, what if you're not available? So sometimes, like, coordinating, it's just like a nightmare. And then even if you meet up with that person, they might be late, so you're sitting there waiting, which has happened to me a couple of times. I haven't ever waited for that long, but I have heard nightmare stories of people like not showing up. The other con that about Carousel is that if you're trying to find someone to sell to, they base it off the GPS of where you are. So I don't live in downtown Toronto anymore, and where I am, the app isn't really like big thing here where I am. So I find carousels like for more of a popular area, like downtown Toronto is a good place. Otherwise, if you're in the outskirts, you might not find anyone for the most part. Since I moved, I haven't really been using carousels much, and it's also because of COVID. I haven't been using carousels much because meeting up with people, COVID, is strange. I really like carousel, but at the same time, I think now with the times, it has shifted now to shipping methods. Next app I'm going to talk about is Depop. So Depop I got next because we moved into the house. I did a big declutter. Carousel obviously isn't working for me because I'm not in downtown Toronto anymore. The pros about Depop, the store policies that you can put a bunch of policies on there, select everything. It's really, really user friendly for the seller, which is really nice. And you can set policies, all that kind of stuff. The second reason why I like Depop is, for example, you sell something to a person and they're not satisfied with it. They can't just return it just because of that. There has to be a significant reason. Like, I don't know, there's a big ink stain on it and it wasn't in the pictures or whatnot. But it has to be a really significant reason. So a fair return policy, which I like. I've never had to deal with that. So the last thing about Depop that I kind of like about it is that you can do international shipping. I'm not an expert when it comes to shipping things, mailing stuff out. If you are, then definitely go for Depop. The cons about Depop that I don't like. Number one, this is the biggest one. You have to set your own shipping price. Now, I've never shipped anything at that point, so I would just say $5 for shipping. Because I was like, oh, well, I don't want it to be too expensive. And then literally, I think my first sale, I went to the post office to ship it. And I literally made like $3 off the sale. Like, oh my God. It's like insane how much postage is. I think it's also because of COVID. Maybe it just went up or something. But anyway, like shipping is expensive. So I honestly hate the whole thing about setting your own shipping price. Then you have people haggling down the price. So I like to just make it $10. If you go to my Depop, you'll probably see there's things for $5 still because I was just too lazy to change it. So take advantage of that. I'm gonna link my Depop down below. The second thing I don't like is that it's not 100% profit. Mind you, they don't take that much money away from the sale. They take 10% or whatever. I forgot what the percentage is, to be honest, but last thing I don't like about Depop, I find on Depop it's very hard to gain followers from it because you are featured. It's someone that's already like big in the space, so there's not like any, you know, new user type of features or anything. Like that's why with Depop now I'm not really posting on there, and I have been now trying to really focus on the next step, which I'm going to talk about, which is Poshmark. I have heard of Poshmark. I never really used it because, again, they also take a fee. I haven't personally sold anything on Poshmark yet. The thing I like about it is the shipping price is included with the price. Say I'm selling this shirt and I'm gonna sell it for $10. They show how much shipping would cost or how much they would cover for shipping. And also they would send you a label to print off. Everything's already done for you for the shipping. So you don't need to deal with people. You might still have to deal with people haggling you, but you're not responsible for the shipping price. So I think less likely people will haggle you because of that. The second thing is I just joined the app and I literally have a bunch of people following me already, which is insane. They have a lot of like Poshmark virtual events type thing, and people can follow you, they can share, they're posting to others. Literally, I haven't done any marketing off my Poshmark and I have a bunch of followers, which is like amazing. The cons about Poshmark that I've noticed so far, number one, it's not 100% of the profit. What I do like about it is it will say how much Poshmark would deduct from you if you put something at a certain price. So it kind of already indicates to you how much they're gonna take, which is nice because Depop doesn't do that. The second thing I don't like about Poshmark is the return policy for customers, because it's kind of like in their favor. That's what I've heard anyway. I haven't had to deal with that or anything. And the last con is that you have to put the original price, and that's like the thing I don't really like about the app. So I don't know, say I put this top on there. Okay, this is from Shein, so it's nothing like super expensive. I put it for $10. That's how much I want to sell for. They'll be like, what's the original price? And you're gonna be like, I don't know. I don't remember. I bought this a long time ago. Especially if you have vintage items. Like, I have some of my mom's vintage blazers and stuff. I put one up on Poshmark and original price. I'm like, I don't know. It's, you have to kind of guess. I guess it kind of markets like to potential buyer, like, oh, yeah, I'm getting a deal off this. I posted my TNA jacket. I was like, what? How much was this? Because I got it as a Christmas gift from my mom like years ago. I think it's like $300. I was like Googling for the style that I had, how much it was. So I put $300. I think it was actually like $350 or something, but whatever. It's just more research for the seller to do, but it does make sense. One thing with Poshmark, it only deals with the country that you're residing in. So for example, there are a bunch of YouTubers that I follow in the States, and I want to buy some stuff off of them, but Poshmark only deals with the country that you're in. So if you try to buy something in the States, it won't work. I think with customs, it's all complicated, which it makes sense for the app. Like, I can't imagine trying to figure out how much customs would be and stuff. Like, no. At the same time, that means you'll only have a smaller number of customers to deal with. If you are in the States and you have followers in the UK and they want to buy stuff from you, they can. That's why a lot of people like Depop better. So now you're asking, which one should I do for myself? Well, if you want to get rid of clothes quickly, go to a consignment or vintage store, but mind you, they might not take everything that you have. But for the onlines, if you're in a major city, like downtown in a major city, definitely try Carousel if you don't mind meeting up with people. If you mind meeting up with people and you just want to ship it out, then I would recommend Poshmark, simply because you don't have to deal with the shipping. Like, especially here in Canada, shipping is expensive. I don't know how it is in the States, but shipping here is expensive. A lot of people do use Depop and they love it. That's just my recommendations. You can use whatever you want. I'm currently using Poshmark for mine, so I'm gonna link it down below. So any future declutters, etc., all my clothes will be posted there. So definitely check it out. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope it gave you some insight in if you want to start selling your clothes. Before buying any fast fashion clothing stores, I would definitely recommend check out these apps because there are some great sellers and there's some great things on there for such a good price. I've shopped on Depop before personally, so there's some good stuff on there. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below as we post every single Monday. Thanks for watching and see you next week. Bye!